Good morning. This is Bay Area Cares, a weekly program where we are privileged enough to highlight Bay Area nonprofits and people doing great things in your community. My name is Sue Hall, and just a heads up, we are in Zoom mode here, and we are recording the video so you can see the faces behind the voices at bayareacares.com. You can go there and you can see past nonprofits that we've highlighted. And if you run a nonprofit, we'd love to hear from you. You can reach out to me via bayareacares.com. I am Sue Hall, and this morning I'm welcoming Chuck Green. Chuck is the co-executive director of Cedars of Marin. Cedars of Marin supports individuals with developmental disabilities. Welcome, Chuck.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And let's talk a little bit about you and your past and how you came to Cedars of Marin.
Sure, it's kind of a long path, but like many Californians, I actually grew up on the East Coast, went to graduate school there. It was a business school, good business school, but decided I really wanted sort of a little more purpose and a little more meaning for me in my work life. And so I chose the field of nonprofit management. Moved to California actually in 1972 to help start a environmental and international service-oriented liberal arts college. I thought I'd do it for 2 years, moved back east where my friends and family were, ended up doing it for 18 years.
Wow.
So that was a fabulous experience. Then was executive director of the Volunteer Center of San Francisco, did that for 9 years. Executive director of the Richard and Rhoda Goldman Fund and the Goldman Environmental Prize. I did that. And then afterwards, I really had a fair amount of experience. And I thought, I had talked to a friend and he had done some work as an interim executive director. And I thought that sounded really like it fit me really well. So I started doing those. I did really a dozen of them. I was interim executive director. 12 different places. They were great. I actually came to Cedars as an interim executive director. Again, I thought I'd do it for about a year and a half. But when you walk into Cedars, it's very clear and you can feel it. It's like you're walking into some version of the Magic Kingdom or something like that. The clients, the staff are so engaged. They're so focused on their work. They're so happy. They're so welcoming. It's just a great place to work, to help out, to be supportive. You'll do anything you can to support the group of people who are there.
This is Bay Area Cares. We're speaking with Chuck Green, who's the co-executive director of Cedars of Marin. Cedars of Marin has actually been around since 1919. Give us a history, how it got started and what it was in the beginning.
Sure. So it did start in 1919 by two women from the East Coast, actually. They came out from Philadelphia, and it was Cora Myers and Gabrielle Renshaw who came to California right at the time of the suffrage movement, too. So there are a lot of parallels to what they were experiencing personally and what they wanted to help address, people who were being marginalized. And so that was their mission. They came out, they started Cedars as a private school for kids, really young kids. And then over time, the system itself in California changed some so that Cedars and a lot of our folks just grew up. And so we're focusing on adults with developmental disabilities. We actually have a large handful of folks who have been at Cedars, lived at Cedars for more than 70 years. And we have a great gentleman who's doing great. He's been at Cedars, living at Cedars for 92 years.
Holy cow, that's quite, what's his name?
His name's Tom.
Tom, good. That's an amazing story.
And he in part attributes his health. He only eats white foods.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sugar, bread.
No sugar, no, but breads and potato and rice and fish, things like that.
Wow. Well, 92. Got to be doing something right.
Yeah,
Cedars of Marin, taking care of supporting individuals with developmental disabilities. You have a residential facility, and then you have day programs. Let's talk a little bit about each. You mentioned the
sure.
residential, and then what kind of programs you offer.
So there we provide a range of residential and day program services for 200 people, 200 individuals with development. 100 of them are in residence. We have a main setting in Ross, and then 8 group homes in Novato. And then we have 3-day programs. And, they're fabulous. Each client gets to choose what they want to do based on what skills they want to learn, just how they want to spend their time. So we've got one program which has folks going in groups 3 to probably 6 or 7, and they volunteer in the community. So they're at the Marin Food Bank, Marin General Hospital, Golden Gate Regional Center, Recreation Center, and just around the Bay Area. And they're employees. They consider their work important. The staff certainly do there too. So that's one program. Another program is our Cedars Fine Arts Studios, and clients there, probably about 45 or so clients, 50 clients. They're involved in jewelry making, a lot of different artwork of all sorts, puppetry, all kinds of things like that. And then we have a 23-acre ranch in San Rafael, and folks are working in a large organic garden. They have about 30 looms where they create weavings. There are beehives, there are alpacas, all kinds of things that they do there, just working productively. They also started a co-op that they own. Clients own the business. It's just very meaningful to them. They make the decisions on what to do with the proceeds of their money. There's a farm stand in San Anselmo where they sell most of their stuff. There's an art gallery in San Anselmo, which was actually voted the second best art gallery in Marin County. Clients sell their artwork there. And they keep half of the money. So, some of it goes to overhead. They keep half. Very meaningful for them. So they're doing all of that stuff. And one of the fellas who was in the co-op, he was nominated to be the treasurer of the co-op. And his father was a successful businessman. He's signing the papers there to incorporate the co-op. And he looks up and he says, "Now I'm a successful businessman."
Oh, wonderful. That's
fabulous. Yeah.
So we're speaking with Chuck Green. He's the co-executive director of Cedars of Marin, supporting individuals with developmental disabilities. And you talked about the artist in residence and the art gallery in San Anselmo, which segues us right into the Summer of Love exhibit that's starting June 16th. And it is open for the public. It's very groovy and tie-dye and everything that you would imagine of the Summer of Love. Public is welcome in San Anselmo. Briefly, unfortunately, Chuck, we've got just a couple of minutes left. Let's talk about the Summer of Love exhibit and how folks can get involved.
Yeah, well, we have, it's very important for us to engage the community in Cedars as well as have our folks out in the community. So at this art gallery, we have openings almost every other month. This one is Summer of Love. There are activities for kids there. There's certainly a huge range of things folks can buy, people who come in, and very reasonable prices, spectacular artwork. That's, being a good artist doesn't have anything to do with an intellectual disability. So there's great art, low prices, and often you meet the artists. There's folks who will work in the gallery too. So this will be a great day. People can really get involved in almost any way they want. And it's part of what goes on in San Anselmo as part of their day there.
Is the gallery right downtown San Anselmo? Is it on the main street there? Because I believe I've been in it.
Yeah, it's right on the main drag, right on San Anselmo Avenue. And they close the block down, town does. And we're really involved. Again, we have a farm stand there too, where we sell all the produce and the textiles that people make. It's great.
So, Chuck, I know that this is an ongoing thing. The Summer of Love is an exhibit there, but ongoing need for donations and volunteers for Cedars of Marin. They've got a wonderful website. You can actually see some of the art. You can see the programs that folks are involved with at cedarslife.org. So please go there. Find out about the Summer of Love exhibit that is coming up and any other ways that you would like to volunteer and donate at cedarslife.org.
That's really good. If I might say one other thing, I think one of the things that's really essential to our work is to destigmatize what it means for an individual to have a developmental disability. And so we do that externally, we do that internally. We have plenty of school kids who come and see how our clients are working and what they're doing. But it's also important that a parent or a family member who has a kid, they should find a way to get involved. Some people just can come and volunteer. That's great. Go check it out on the website. But even if if you're not accessible to Cedars, find a way for your family members to understand that a person with an intellectual disability is just a little different. They may have talents much more extensive than most folks. They may have a deficiency in some area, but it's really important for us that everybody knows who they are and that their turn. They're doing a campaign. The clients chose a campaign called Choose Kindness. So it's all positive. It'll be internal, and we're going to engage the community in that as well.
Wonderful. Oh, that's great. So for more on all of this, thank you, Chuck. I'm sorry, we are limited in time, but you can certainly get involved in cedarslife.org. Go by, check out the artwork, the Summer of Love exhibit that's ongoing. I believe it's June 16th, and then you can get more information there, but certainly cedarslife.org. Chuck Green, co-executive director, thank you for all that you do. We really appreciate and love that Cedars of Marin has been around for over 100 years.
Wow.
This is Bay Area Cares. My name is Sue Hall, and if you run a nonprofit anywhere in the Bay Area, we'd love to highlight what you do. So please reach out to me. You can see this video, get more information at bayareacares.com.
Thanks, Sue.
You bet.
All right.